A black veteran challenged Governor Ron DeSantis, said he and his rhetoric and his policies were the reason why those black people were targeted. Here was that fiery exchange.
Allow weapons to be put in the street immature, capable people that have caused the deaths of people who were murdered a couple weeks ago. Trayvon Martin was not the first.
So first of all, I did not allow anything with that. Well, listen, excuse me. I'm not going to let you accuse me of committing criminal activity. I am not going to take that. I am not going to take that. So you should, you want to have a civil conversation, that's one thing. Try to say that I'm letting, that guy was Baker acted. He should have been ruled ineligible, but they didn't involuntarily commit him, and so they weren't. No. There is the truth. There is something about the truth. It's not everyone doesn't have their own truth. No. You don't get to come here and blame me for some madman. That is not appropriate, and I'm not going to accept it.
You have allowed people to hunt people like me.
Oh, that is nonsense. That is such nonsense. We've done more to support law enforcement in this state than anybody throughout the United States. Our crime rate in Florida is at a 50-year low. We have enacted policies so that people have a chance to live in safety. We have attracted people to come to this state in large part because we've had a commitment to public safety. So the notion that somehow we're not supportive of safety is absurd. And we've put our money where our mouth is. We've put support behind policies to hold people accountable who hurt other people. You haven't seen us releasing people from prison. When they hurt, when you do the crime, you do the time.
Well, Ron was sitting here lying, Michael, because the reality is he's removed a black prosecutor. He has led the removal of 2 black congressional districts. We see the attacks when it comes to history, when it comes to books, over and over and DEI, you can name it. Ron DeSantis has absolutely targeted black people, and he has given the white races in that state and across the country hope that he is their patron saint.
Absolutely, and he's running on this at the national level for president as well. He didn't create this environment, but he has actually added fuel to the environment, poured gasoline on the fire, and he's giving cover to these white supremacists as well to carry out more acts. And keep in mind, the NAACP had a travel advisory advising people to be careful going to Florida, and remember his Gestapo unit of sheriffs who were targeting African Americans and people who were former felons who were sent their voter registrations in the car in the mail. They went through all the proper channels to get their right to vote back again, and then they're going to be arrested for voting, even though their voter registration card was sent in the mail. Okay, so Ron DeSantis has definitely helped add to this environment. So he's just standing there lying. And this is an example of how elections have consequences and the power that the governor has. And also Attorney Monique Royale, who he removed from office, she's filed a complaint against him also. Hopefully she's successful in getting her job back.
They just hate being called out, Kelly.
I mean, who likes being called out? It's, you know, when he was talking about there is the truth, not one thing that he said was the truth. The fact of the matter is Florida as a state is racist by and large, and it is not safe for black people to be in that state because of the policies, because of the legislation, because of the culture of targeting black people, of attacking black people, of killing black people, mainly at this juncture, all under DeSantis's watch. The rhetoric that comes out of his mouth, the policies that he has enacted, the legislation that he has passed, the laws that he has signed, very little of them, if any, have been beneficial truly to black people in his state. And now he's running for president to do the same thing across the country. He is a dangerous, racist man. And he just lied for about 5 minutes on that clip.
Matt?
I mean, look, two things can be true at the same time. And reality is, I get why DeSantis tried to deflect in the way that he did. And this is what you see these politicians do all the time. They throw proverbial rocks and then hide their proverbial hands. You know that if you stack up all of these policies, the direct, a consequence of which is you preying on black people, attacking black people, and more than that, vilifying black people, which has happened for decades, you know that the outcropping of that is going to be white supremacists who are amped up. And that's what's intellectually dishonest about this. Because if you notice, his whole defense was rooted in, I didn't allow anybody to go do that, that guy individually, blah, blah, blah. But what this brother was saying is your policies have allowed that, and they know they do that. And that's exactly why Donald Trump is going to be on trial sooner than later for, all the things that he's done. And if you notice, especially as it relates to January 6th, that's the whole argument behind it. You can't continue doing things that are fomenting a certain type of action from people and then act as though they have independent, acting authority if you know that you're essentially encouraging them to act and then acting like you didn't do that when you did. And Ron DeSantis is the king of that. So I'm glad this brother called him out, but obviously he called him out in a location where everyone there was pro-DeSantis and supportive to him. I wish this had occurred somewhere else where everybody there is not going to buy that hook, line, and sinker. But the outcropping of these policies is this kind of action. So I'm glad he got called out, and we know that it's true.